All right. Well, we should probably move on to nerd news. All right. So, really cool stuff we have here this week for nerd news. I'll go ahead and take away the first piece, if you don't mind, Adnan, the gaming one, because I wrote it. But anyway, so Warner Brothers today. By the way, at the time of this recording, the last of the August DLC for Arkham Knight was released, and so because of that, I guess Warner Brothers wanted to show off what they're going to be releasing next month. And so they announced the details on the DLC that's going to be coming out in September. And I have to say, this is probably the most DLC they've released in 1 month since the release of the game. So this is like where you're starting to see the meat of the season pass, kicking in. But so on September 1st, they're going to release the Crime Fighter Challenge Pack, which they say is 6 AR challenges for Batman, Nightwing, Robin, and Catwoman. And it says it's going to focus on training in free-flow combat and invisible predator stealth incursion. Then later in September, the rest of these DLCs are going to come out. One of them is called GCPD Lockdown, and it's a story DLC that's set after the events of Arkham Knight, and you play as Nightwing, who's trying to stop the Penguin from breaking out of the Gotham City Police Department. And then the last two, one of them is the 2008 Tumblr Batmobile pack, and it's the Batmobile from the 2008 Dark Knight movie that they've recreated for the game, and you get to use it to race through 2 themed tracks. So it's just like the Tim Burton one that just came out, except for the Dark Knight. And then the last one, which is obviously the most snore-fest version, is that the original Arkham Batman skin from the Arkham Asylum game is going to be released later that month as well. And yeah, that's it. That's pretty much what they're going to be releasing in September.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry. I have to say this is one of the worst Arkham games in the series.
Hey.
Well, I said this a million times before. Like £40 / how much dollars is that?
$40.
$40,
yeah.
$40 for about £30 maybe, I think. And like buying a season pass without knowing what you're getting on the game. And the game itself is really mediocre. After playing it, like the more I think about it, the more I hate that game. I really do just kind of get more of a massive resentment towards it.
Right.
And like distaste towards like how it finished the series, because that game was hyped up. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's gonna be game of the year!" Like, "Oh my god, you got a Batmobile." I was like, "Yeah, but it's just another superhero game." And when you look at it, it's even dropped below those standards, and those standards are set at a low point anyway.
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, the appeal of this content is just like, I'm like, oh my god, why would you even buy the season pass?
It's I did.
Well, yours is a different case. You didn't pay for the game, so you're technically just
yeah.
But, like, if you generally bought the game on its bought the game and bought the season pass, you could have just invested that money into Fallout 4 and Metal Gear Solid 5: Phantom Pain, or Mad Max or Gears Ultimate Edition. Like, there's so many different options. I'm not saying these games are going to be brilliant, but it sounds a lot better than Batman.
Yeah, no. I was going to get out at that. Like, I bought the season pass, but like you mentioned, it was kind of like a special case. I was on the fence with it. I think that the way Warner Brothers handled all of this was terrible. In fact, if you remember, when they first announced it, Rocksteady swooped in and tried to do damage control almost immediately. And they're like, look, here's Batgirl, concept art, and, they tried to fix it because they handled it so fucking well. And it just goes into that recurring conversation you and I have on how Warner Brothers is just such a bad developer. I mean, not developer, publisher. But, dude, I mean, I can't wait to see what is released in total for the season pass, so I could really, and I can't wait to talk about that on Talk Nerdy to Me, to come out and be like, well, I played everything, and here's my opinion on whether it was worth $40. Like, this is almost like an experiment for me. But I'll say, I have to say that if they do something like this, and they double this for the next, I think they're wrapping it up in November, so I think after September, there's only 2 more months of DLC. So if they keep increasing the amount. Like if in October we get like 4 pieces of DLC, and then by the time we get to like November, bam, they just release everything. That would be really interesting, especially considering that we still haven't gotten all the stuff that they've been talking about. Like, remember they said like there was going to be like a bunch of different like character things set before and after Arkham Knight, and then they also said the Season of Infamy. They haven't even talked about that yet. That different villains invade Gotham. So, like, I want to know what the hell's going up with there. I'll say this, though. This is a step in the right direction. Because, like, the DLC we've gotten for the past couple of months has sucked ass. Like, it's been so bad. Like, not terrible. I need to play the one that just came out today to really have a full opinion. But it's, like, they keep releasing at the worst time. Like, why are they releasing the challenge pack the day the Phantom Pain comes out? Like, why? I'm not going to play that day. Like, I'm going to be playing fucking Snake, dude. Like, so, I don't know. Like, I would like to see at the end of the day what it's like. But I think this is definitely a step in the right direction. Like, especially now they're even giving us, like, little descriptions and stuff like that. So we know what it's all about. But they should have done this from the get-go.
You've already fucking paid for it. That's the problem.
Exactly.
I don't care. They could announce shit, and you've already paid for it.
Exactly. Yeah, like this should have been from the get go. Yeah.
The problem is a lot of this content isn't appealing though, because like Batman, like once you complete the story, what else are you meant to do except for the challenges? So like, my biggest problem is why wouldn't you, like, for example, like Batmobile, I wouldn't use it unless I was going back into the game to play the DLC or something. That's the only time I'd use it.
Oh, you can't, like, I don't know about the Tumblr, but they confirmed with the Tim Burton. It's stupid, dude. This is what they said. They said for the Tim Burton Batmobile, you can use it in the game, but it doesn't have a tank mode, so you're limited to that. Like, if there's anything, like any Riddler stuff you want to do, you can't do it. I
think that's why people like it, because it doesn't have fucking tank mode. That fucking thing, that one feature has been the biggest topic of the fucking 2015. It's also been the biggest detriment to Arkham Knight's success.
Agreed.
Like, it's so bad. Like, it's just like, leave it. It's like, no, tank mode, and it's like fucking, there's a really cool battle from Arkham Asylum, not Arkham Asylum, Arkham City. Mm-hmm. Arkham City?
Well,
no, wrong game, Arkham Origins, sorry, with Deathstroke.
Oh, yeah, dude.
They take that and they fucking whittle it down to bloody tank battle with Deathstroke. It's just like, how is this even possible?
Mind you, he's the master of hand-to-hand combat, swordplay, things like that. We'll put him in a tank. Like, yeah. I hope they fired the creative director of this game. Like, he got fired immediately after the reviews. And well, no, actually, the reviews were positive. It's just critically, the game was reviewed terribly. Like, people were really pissed off about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't wait till it's all out, dude, and then we could like really get into the nitty gritty, because I want to like come back with my experimental results and be like, Adnan, look what I found. It's shit, or maybe it's not shit, or maybe it's like shit with some gold in it. I don't know. I have a feeling it's gonna end up being like really delicious looking pizza, but someone took a dump on it.
Wow.
That was a terrible analogy. I'm sorry. I don't know where. You know what? It's best if we move on to the next piece. I have no idea where this is heading. So, oh god.
Oh dear. But the content is very weird to me as an outsider. But
yeah.
We'll jump into the next piece of news, the most unsurprising and something that I've said probably time and time again for last year. So, publisher Ubisoft announced on Tuesday that the upcoming first-person shooter title, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, has been delayed. The previous launch date for Rainbow Six Siege was set for October 13th, but Ubisoft has now pushed the title back to a release date of December 1st for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Posting on the Ubisoft blog, the publisher explained that Rainbow Six Siege's delay would ensure that developer Ubisoft Montreal has the extra time to make necessary, quote, adjustment and improvements, end quote, to several areas of the title, such as, quote, improving the co-op experiences across all game modes, weapon and gadgeting balance, as well as menu and interface navigation, end quote. So, Ubisoft said, and I quote, we're taking a lot more time to make these changes, and we think it's the right call. We understand that many of you are excited to get your hands on the final game, But as gamers ourselves, we know that the quality comes first, and we are committed to delivering the best game possible." End quote. Meanwhile, Ubisoft has reassured fans that Rainbow Six Siege's closed beta testing will still be taking place on September 24th, allowing the development team to continue testing aspects like the infrastructure and matchmaking. And Rainbow Six Siege's closed beta feedback will, quote, "make for higher quality experience at launch," end quote, according to Ubisoft.
I would love if, they're like, the title's been pushed back to December 1st, 2016. Like, you assholes. Like, the biggest, dick move. I really don't have a lot of background on this. I know that you went crazy when this was announced. Like, you were super happy about it. This is not the first time they've delayed something with this game, right?
No, they've been tinkering with the release date quite a few times.
Right.
This game was announced 2014 at Ubisoft's E3 show.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's actually been more of in a development hellhole since Rainbow Six Patriots. That's where it was codenamed, and then that went to fucking hell, and somehow they've resurfaced something. The problem is, when I saw this game, I loved the idea, I loved that, the destruction engine and everything else, what it's doing, but it does look like fucking horrible graphically.
Oh,
it
really?
looks unpolished. Yeah, if you look at the videos and stuff, it looks unpolished. I know beta testing, but people were saying that they were falling through holes. In certain points of the game in the multiplayer modes, and they were glitching in the main menu, and it was really laggy and stuff like that. So, that would make sense. It also makes no sense why there was a closed beta testing happening 1 month before its release.
Yeah.
That made, or maybe actually not even 1 month before it. Well, hold on, no, it came out October 13th, the original release date, and then it was and the beta's on September 24th. So they are having a beta, 2 weeks before release.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. That makes no sense to me. That kind of makes me feel really confused by why they were even doing that.
Yeah,
the entire point about beta is that you do it, beforehand, so everything is ready at launch, and getting feedback and kind of twisting on that and tweaking. But I mean, that is really weird to have even seen that, in the sense that there was a beta happening. But I'm glad they're pushing it back. It needs a lot more time. I don't believe Ubisoft are fucking shit anyway. When they said we're taking a little time to make these changes, and we think the right call, and we're gamers. No, you're not, because we also operate with fucking Unity, and no one's ever going to forgive that unless you are deluded. I just think that it does need a lot more time working on it. This game shouldn't be coming out. It should be coming out next year. It's nowhere near ready. I bet they're going to push Division ready for 2016.
Yeah.
I bet they're really pushing hard to get that done next year.
I mean, that's Ubisoft's problem, man. They really just want shit to come out annually, or they're more, I think, focused on releasing the year they say they're going to release, rather than just saying, okay, maybe, I still think they should have skipped this year with Assassin's Creed. I think it's insane that Syndicate's coming out this year.
It's more in saying that people are actually eating it up.
Yeah, they want their yearly McDonald's, as opposed to just waiting for their epic Thanksgiving feast. But I don't know. I have no. I'm not gonna get this game. I have no interest in it. But just looking at the Ubisoft tactics, I just hope for people that are excited for the game that when it comes out, they might as well just release it next year, right? They're gonna miss Black Friday anyway at this point, and Ubisoft loves having shit come out before Black Friday. That's their MO. So honestly, this should probably be a January 2016 release, or possibly a March release, where it's less occupied and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. But I mean, it's Ubisoft though. I mean, it does need a lot more time. This game, my biggest worry is going to go to launch. It's going to be fucking crippled with things here and there. And the thing is that this is more multiplayer centric anyway. It's really deviated from Rainbow Six, for example, where there was a good story mode in it. Mm-hmm. So it's very much a focus on multiplayer. And if those servers don't go live properly, it's going to crash and burn to the ground so quickly.
Yeah, definitely. God damn it. Well, maybe, hopefully, they'll have stuff, good to go for the people looking forward to it, but I don't know.
You'd hope.
Yeah, you hope, but it is Ubisoft. I mean, I know we're mad shit talking Ubisoft, but I think Adam and I are still pretty pissed about French couples falling from the sky. Bingo! That's a dude. I forget. Well, no, that's another story for it. Who is listening right now totally gets that reference.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for our gaming stuff, guys. We'll go ahead and move on to the movie stuff. Dude, Adnan, would you mind taking this next piece?
The first piece?
Yeah.
Yes, I will do.
Thank you, sir. Thank you kindly, sir. See, on this show, we are very courteous to each other, co-hosts. We tip our hats and we put our napkins at our lap.
That poster is fucking terrible, but we'll come on to that later.
Oh God, it is.
It's not even funny. It's just so terrible and like tacky. But anyway, Wolverine 3 will showcase Logan's quote berserker rage end quote, says Hugh Jackman. Though Patrick Stewart recently confirmed that he will be quote making more than an appearance end quote in the upcoming Wolverine 3, there is still very little known about the project. Speaking on the Sydney Confidential podcast via CBM, Jackman opened up about the film with a nice tease for what to expect and something that fans have been demanding to see. And he said, and I quote, "There were a lot of calls for Victor Creed to come back, but there was, I must admit, I was quite disheartened. No, sorry, this sentence, the need to full stop there properly, sorry. Let me rephrase that. So, there were a lot of calls for Victor Creed to come back. There was. I must admit, I was quite disheartened by a number of people saying, please don't make it the last, but I'm really excited about this last one. And if you're a comic book fan, then words berserker rage came up a lot. So if you know Wolverine, you'll understand. Victor Creed, aka Sabretooth, was previously played by Tyler Mane in the original X-Men and Liev Schreiber in 2009's X-Men Wolverine's Origins, with no appearances in the other films in the franchise. Perhaps the closest fans have ever come to seeing Logan's berserker rage on film was in 2009 Soul Future, after his skeleton is fused with adamantium and he escapes from the Weapon X facility. Since Jackman has already confirmed countless times that this will be his last turn at bat as Wolverine. Oh my god, this is a terrible article. The actor seems eager to give fans everything they've wanted from everyone's favourite Canadian mutant.
But he's not really Canadian. They already remember he had memory. Whatever. I mean, dude, I have to give a lot of credit to Hugh Jackman. Like, he is really trying, I think, to make this the best Wolverine movie that he's involved in before he kind of like calls it quits. I'm actually kind of sad to see him go, but at the same time I understand. I mean, it's been like 15 years, man, that he's been playing Wolverine. Like, and by the time this movie comes out, it'll be 17 years. It's pretty crazy. So, maybe it is time for him to, hang up the claws or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cool that he's trying to he's reaching out to like fans and shit, and he's like, what do you guys want? Tell me, oh, you want Sabretooth? Right on, Sabretooth. Berserker Rage? We're going to try to do it. I don't understand this whole shit about his Berserker Rage. I feel like we've seen his rage countless times in movies.
Yeah.
Like, remember in X-Men 2 when he got like super pissed and all those, when Stryker's like team came in and,
and just goes and kills like half the fucking task force.
Like, I'm like, that's his fucking Berserker Rage, dude. Like, remember, he's like, you want to kill me? Kill me! And he's like all like pumped and shit. Like, that was fucking Wolverine. Like, so ever since then where he's like, no, you're gonna see the Berserker Rage. I'm like, dude, we've seen it already. Like, remember when he's on the bullet train and he yelled and like stabbed the dude in the chest? He like jumped off to like, reach the, velocity to go whoosh and like kill him. That was like badass. So I don't understand that obsession that they always have of like, we're gonna have Berserker Rage in the next movie, and I'm like, dude, you've done it already. But I love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Like, literally, that Wolverine movie, X-Men Origins, sucked. It was such a bad movie, and the only good thing about that movie was Hugh Jackman. Like, legitimately, he made the movie bearable. So that being said, love him in the role. Would love to see what he's going to do next, like in his last appearance and shit.
He's going to keep playing this role until he's a granddad.
Well, he claims this is the last one, dude. So I don't know. I mean, I would love to see him as an old man, old man Logan. Like, that would be
Old
fucking
Man
awesome.
Logan. That'd be the name of the film as well. Old Man Logan.
It'd be so fucking awesome. Like, and instead of the sideburns, it's just a white beard and shit. And he's like, I never age. It's like, clearly he does, but whatever.
That was your age, Sonny Jim. I was killing those people at those facilities.
Yeah, my berserker rage. Oh, heart attack. Fuck. They just still use the footage, like,
Oh dear.
super messed up. Like, Hugh Jackman's dying, and they use the footage. Like, that's not acting. He's in pain. But I'm just not wholly impressed with this film. Let's just fucking give it a rest now. I don't like see people screaming for the Wolverine 3. And yeah, that poster really is shit as well. Oh, yeah, okay, so talk about the poster. So if you guys haven't seen it, it's like a teaser image with the hashtag #OneLastTime, and it's an all-black background, and it's just Wolverine, fucking shirtless Hugh Jackman looking at you. It's a close-up of his face, and then his hand is up, and he has the middle claw up, as if he's, like that joke from the fucking original movie, where he gives Cyclops the finger. Like, he's doing it again. And it's like, dude, come on. You like that? It was funny back in, like, the original
Being
film.
the dead horse.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it was so funny back in the first film. And then remember they did it again in that Origins movie, and it's like, oh, God, this looks so fucking stupid. Like, you don't need to do it again. We get it. Yeah. Okay, you have 3 claws. If you put up the middle one, it looks like you're giving the finger. Okay. Yeah. We can move on. And I bet that's going to be a joke in the movie, too.
Oh, yeah.
So cool. Well, hopefully the movie will turn out to be... I mean, this is like one of many X-Men films that are being released. Like in 2017, though. Next year, there's like 3 movies coming out, so this will follow up to when those 3 come out. All right, I guess we'll go into our last entertainment piece. This is a kind of a combination of a lot of different... 2 different articles that happened during the D23 event that I think I briefly mentioned it last podcast, but it happened over the weekend, and Disney had a live action panel where they talked about the Star Wars films that are going to be made in the future. And so, first piece of news, and this is kind of like a meaty one, but the cast of Rogue One, which... It's really weird. The official title right now is Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. But like a month ago, it was called Star Wars Anthologies Rogue One. So I don't know if it's still anthology. But
I don't really like either of those names. I mean, it's been Star Wars, Rogue One.
Yeah.
Can we have made it any more easy? There's not even got like the episode chapters in it, so you know it's different.
Right.
That's what kind of confuses me.
No, I think like... I understand they want to make like an umbrella name for the series. I get that, but I just like really a Star Wars story. Like that, I think is like scraping whatever. Anyway, so they announced the cast, and it's a really great cast of actors here. No announcement of who they're playing or anything like that. But so Felicity Jones, she was previously announced. She's in the film. Diego Luna. I'm just going to go through the names, but it's Felicity Jones, Diego Luna, Ben Mendelsohn, Donnie Yen, Zhang Wen, Forrest Whitaker, Mads Mikkelsen, Adnan, and Alan Tudyk, who's going to play a performance capture character. They like really put that out there, and then Riz Ahmed is in the film as well. So. All these people are in the film, and they have actually the first cast photo, which doesn't have all the actors. It just has, I guess, the good guys. I don't know. But it has Felicia Jones in the center and her crew or her teammates or whatever the hell this movie's about, because we have no idea, all around her in what appears to be like a junkyard or like some sort of, like hangar room that's really claustrophobically dirty, but that's the film. That's the cast, and it's going to be directed by Gareth Edwards, who directed the Godzilla film.
Mm-hmm. You got a female lead.
Yeah,
that's fun.
It's crazy.
Long time coming. Yeah, I mean, Mads Mikkelsen, absolute gem of an actor.
Yes, absolutely.
To have him there. But yeah, I'm very interested in that. The photo looked cool as well, building up into something. Very happy with a female lead as well, leading the Star Wars movies now. But yeah, excited for that. It sounds interesting. Just need to change the name because the name is fucking daft. Just make it Star Wars: Rogue One. It doesn't need like a Star Wars of mythology Star Wars, a Telltale game series. It just needs to be something simple.
That is, oh my god, that is basically what a Star Wars story is. A Telltale game series. Oh, man. Or Disney's Rogue One, a Star Wars anthology story. That'll be the final title. Always have to put
Telltale
Disney.
game story.
Yeah, imagine if Telltale Games does the game for it. Disney Rogue One, a Star Wars anthology story, a Telltale game series. The
funny part is, though, even outside of marketing, everyone's just going to call it Rogue One.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's just going to say, let's go see Rogue One.
Yeah, or see Star Wars Rogue One. No one's going to be like, let's go see Rogue One, a Star Wars anthology movie from the second decade of the 21st century. No one does that.
It's like, remember, X-Men Origins Wolverine? Just call it Wolverine. You don't have to call it X-Men Origins.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. We get it. It's part of this
sells.
franchise.
I know you want to sell it to a wider audience, but it sells even more. The Wolverine's probably more popular than X-Men, because people associate it with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, no, by far. And dude, I figured, speaking of Mads Mikkelsen, I thought you would find this really interesting. So, I've been, I go to the Star Wars forums, because, come on, look at me. But I've been going to the Star Wars forums, and there's actually this short story that was released, I think, a year and a half ago. And in the short story, they have, a couple of, artwork in it, so you could know who the characters look like and shit. And, dude, there's an Imperial officer in this, short story that they totally made him look like Mads Mikkelsen. He looks... Really? Yeah, he looks just like him. Exactly like him in Casino Royale specifically, because he has the scar and stuff, and the eye and stuff. And so everyone's like, is that going to be his character? Is he playing an Imperial officer in Rogue One? Blah, blah, blah. And some people are like, dude, they're not going to fucking go to a short story that was written a year and a half ago and be like, he has to play this character, because look, it looks just like him. But I thought that was kind of a funny PS to this article, that, he's technically... Cool. Yeah, he's in the universe technically already, or at least his likeness. I don't know. Well, the kind of other big Star Wars news that was announced was that Colin Trevorrow, who's the director of Jurassic World, which came out a few months ago, he's now been confirmed as the director for Star Wars Episode 9, the final sequel trilogy film. And the press release had a statement from Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy, who said the following: Colin is someone I've been interested in working with ever since I saw Safety Not Guaranteed. The power of that film, paired with the enormous success of Jurassic World, speaks volumes about his abilities both as a storyteller and skilled filmmaker. We are thrilled to have such an incredible talent as Colin joins our family and steps into the Star Wars universe. And then Trevorrow himself said this about the landing the gig. He said, this is not a job or an assignment. It is a seat at a campfire surrounded by an extraordinary group of storytellers, filmmakers, artists, and craftspeople. We've been charged with telling new stories for a younger generation because they deserve what we all had, a mythology to call their own. We will do this by channeling something George Lucas instilled in all of us: boundless creativity, pure invention, and hope. And dude, you know what? I have to say, on a side note, I kind of appreciate this. I know it's a little bit corny, but I really appreciate that he went out of his way to say a statement for the press that's interesting. It's not just the generic I am so pleased to be working for Episode 9. I feel that following
been a dream
up,
since I was a kid.
Yeah, right. What all these fucking directors say. So I have to give him credit, man. I give him props for saying something that's kind of different than what the usual guys say. Yeah, dreams ever since I was a kid. If I had a lightsaber.
I'd like to thank Kathleen Kennedy and Mountain Dew, and he's holding a bottle of Mountain Dew as well.
Yeah, Mountain Dew got me here, and Kathleen Kennedy.
It's been a dream to have my lightsaber since I was, a wee little boy.
Yeah, when I was a kid, me and my brother, we used to use, mopping sticks as lightsabers, and I can't believe now I'll be directing the mopping sticks, or some shit like that. So, dude, there's a really big, I think this is great, by the way. I love the fact that he's directing this movie, because I actually quite enjoyed Jurassic World, and I was really worried that J.J. Abrams was going to come back, and let me phrase that in a way. I love J.J. Abrams, but I like it when trilogies or anthologies or series or whatever have different directors for each movie, because I feel like that kind of, it adds to the series. Like I'll give you a great example. Harry Potter. The first 4 movies, it's so interesting because you have, Chris Columbus directed the first 2 movies, but then, Alfonso Cuarón came in and directed the 3rd one, and then Newell directed the 4th movie, and then they got David Yates to direct the fucking other half of the movie series.
I think that's just also putting dent in your argument of bringing in different directors.
Right.
The fact that we have terrible directors as well in anthologies.
Oh, that is true. Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it can end up being bad as well. Like, you might end up having, like, a great first movie, and then the second movie... Like, look at Return of the Jedi. Like, Empire is a fucking amazing movie. And compared to Jedi, I don't know about it.
Return of the Jedi is not terrible, though. There's a difference. Maybe it doesn't live up to the hype of what it is. It's not terrible. It's like The Godfather Part 3. It's not, like, what people make out to be, like, a fucking catastrophe. Yeah, it's bad in certain places, but it's still a very, very strong film from a very, very good director.
Yeah, I guess I just meant comparing it with, like, the series that it's in. Because, like, if you compare, like, the original trilogy, Jedi is, like, easily the weakest of, like, the first 3 that were made. I won't get into the prequels, because, fuck.
I mean, that's still very hard to get to anyway, even with one director as well. I mean, like, some of them are it's hard to kind of replicate. I mean, like, I couldn't imagine someone coming in and stepping in for Nolan after the Batman Begins.
Okay, that's a good point. Yeah,
Scream. Like, it's Craven's baby. It's like certain people's babies. These kind of film series. I think it's kind of very select. It's hard though because even if you shove a new director into it, the vision's different. This is where it kind of like links in this argument that I don't know why they're announcing the director for was this the 9th film?
Yeah, this is episode 9.
Yeah, why are you announcing it now? That film's not going to come out for ages. There's no problem in pre-production. It's just literally a piece of paper with the name of the film on it. What's the point?
It is true,
Even securing this director now, he could just be like, in 2 years' time, I'm getting out because I've got this other project done.
Yeah, like, what's his face? Like, same thing with that Fantastic Four. Josh Trank. Same thing happened to him.
Yeah. But here's this is like the same with Josh Whedon as well, where when he saw the thing of Iron Man 3.
Right,
he had to change his own kind of thing. He doesn't have no idea what's going on in that 8th film yet. Like, he can't build a story arc unless he's seen episode 8 or know what's going to happen in episode 8.
I mean, dude, it goes back, like, I agree with you. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it also goes back, like, all these, like, companies want to, like, annualize these film franchises. Like, when I remember Disney, when they first made the announcement, they're like, when The Force Awakens comes out in 2015, starting in 2015, you will get a new Star Wars film every year. And I'm like, look, I like Star Wars. I love it, okay? Like, I rewatch the movies, like, once every couple of months. I'm obsessed with it. But even I'm like, every year? Really? Like, every year? Like, a new movie? Like, why don't you give, like, time to, like, space up, like, look. Yeah, dude, exactly. Like, look, I love...
Becoming the new Ubisoft.
Yeah, like, dude, I love ice cream, okay? I love ice cream. I think it's delicious, but I don't want ice cream every day. I'm going to become a diabetic. Like, I need, like, to have things in between that. Like, these are great, like, like dessert-type films, that you just kind of, like, you learn some shit from it, too, sometimes. But, you just want to, like, unwind and relax and watch these. But, goddamn, every year. And on top of that, you have Marvel coming out every year. Like, that's where, you're right, that's where it gets silly. And it's like, dude, you haven't even started, like, development. Like, you're in pre-production of episode 8. Why the fuck are you talking about episode 9? Like, you haven't even released episode 7, Like, what if, episode 7 comes out and we're like, oh my god, it was the greatest movie ever, And like, that guy's gone. We'll never get him again.
Yeah, so weird how they do it. Makes no sense. In my mind, it makes no sense why they even made this announcement. Well, obviously, yeah, people are like, oh, like cheering, like, whatever else, but it still makes no sense. Why would you even do this?
It's for the hype. They want to get, like, the fans hyped and shit, Like, they probably have nothing really new to show, so they're like, let's just fucking talk about this,
How would we just, like, tweet the next day, like, yeah, I've dropped out the project. See you later, guys.
It was a bit premature. Sorry about that. Like,
yeah.
Ah, damn it. Well, I'm very interested, though, that they're modeling the sequel trilogy, at least in terms of, like, how they're producing it. I think it's really cool how each movie now has a new director. So you have JJ for 7, Rian Johnson for 8, and now Colin Trevorrow for 9. I think that's cool. It's like how original trilogy had George, Irving Kershner, and Richard Marquand. So hopefully, I won't be eating crow come, episode 7, and I'm like, J.J. Abrams, no one could replace him, and it's like, sorry, these two dudes are. You found out a year and a half ago that he wasn't going to direct episode 8, so like, sorry, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I agree, dude. It's such an early announcement. I guess we'll just have to see. I at least need to see episode 7 and understand the tone of the franchise before saying like, yeah, the guy who did Jurassic World is a great choice. Who knows? Maybe he's a horrible choice.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't judge. Oh, it's just so weird.